Okay, everyone. So there's this bizarro situation going on with a group of folks that I like to collectively refer to as Jimmy Dore fanboys, because they're not serious people. They're not a political coalition of any kind. It's like really like 10,000 weirdos that are on Twitter all day, every day. And that somehow like they think that they're on the front lines of like the world. And like they are the ones who will be responsible for Medicare for all in the future. So it's a really bizarre like main character syndrome, kind of superiority complex. It's really weird. So they're Jimmy Dore fanboys. They love Jimmy Dore. And clearly what I love doing is I love personally attacking Jimmy Dore. Everything I'm about to say, like when I play this clip of Jimmy Dore having a meltdown, that's indistinguishable from Rush Limbaugh. When I play this video, it's actually ad hominem, of course, because that's what the Russian bots in my comment section will say. Playing video of Jimmy Dore saying something is ad hominem attack. It's there's no argumentation involved when I just play the video. So when he says something, clearly he's not saying something. So again, if you're a Russian bot, don't believe your lying eyes, right? I don't want to trigger you. Let's be honest, though. You've already left your comment. You're not watching the video. Anyway, if you're here for me to make fun of this Dumbo motherfucker, let's go in. So this is Jimmy Dore talking about why wasn't anyone pushing for $2,000? Huh. Why wasn't anyone pushing for $2,000? It's not like Bernie was doing so since March. Nah, no way. It's not like people like Ro Khanna were tying themselves to that. Nah, it's not like the Squad and AOC, Rashida Tlaib, Ilhan. It's not like they were doing. No way. No. Let's see what Jimbo Dumbo. Again, this guy who, by the way, in March, what was Jimbo Dumbo doing? He was having Tulsi Gabbard on his show and promoting her awful healthcare plan, like this one, for example.
Well, you came out with your new single payer plus.
I played this in a video and people said it was a lie. People said that Jimmy never said this, even though I've got a video. So this is him capitulating like a child on Medicare for all. By the way, like you can watch this full thing. I'm not going to play the full thing. It's there if you want to scroll down and click on it. So that's him 8 months ago, 9 months ago, whatever, capitulating like a child on Medicare for all. And this is what he has to say to the people who are actually trying to push forward good ideas.
People have not been docile over the past couple of days, and that's good. I say we need to have a revolution. We need to have some social unrest in this country.
Right. We need to have some social unrest, right? Okay. Well, have you looked at the past year? Like I don't maybe that's an endorsement of that. I'm not entirely sure. It probably is, but still, social unrest is a good thing. In the sense of it gets people talking. But there's a lot of problems with a situation of social unrest. People get hurt. People get injured. So, has Jimmy Dore participated in any of the protests? Maybe he has. It's totally possible that Jimmy Dore was going to protests. I'm not entirely sure. I don't know. And if he has, good on him, right? But I've been to protests, and I can tell you, they get a little dangerous, right? So I'm just throwing that out there. I'm just, throwing that out there.
They're not giving you health care? You don't think what? They're not giving you health care in the middle of a deadly pandemic? Trump outlefts Nancy Pelosi easily?
Okay, so this is where it gets a little bizarre here. Now, he does this thing, and a lot of people do this thing. I do this a lot too. Is I will say they as a stand-in for someone who has been previously acknowledged, and for example, let's say I say Nancy Pelosi is a criminal, they are weak. That would be they in reference to Nancy Pelosi. One of the things though that Jimmy Dore and other kind of radio hosts do, you see this a lot on right-wing radio, is they will use the term they a lot, which is a stand-in for different people. So this guy is saying they don't want you to have health care. And then he ties that into Bernie Sanders, AOC, and the Squad. So, again, it's bizarre.
It's Nancy Pelosi easily?
And also, if you think Donald Trump is to the left of Nancy Pelosi, you don't know what the left-right spectrum is. Someone saying, I want to give $2,000 stimulus payments in the same message where they say illegals shouldn't have any money, that's not to the left of Nancy Pelosi. I'm sorry. Shut the fuck up with that garbage. Is $2,000 better than $1,200 or $600? Absolutely. That doesn't put it on the left-right spectrum. Especially, again, when this guy is saying illegals shouldn't have any money. Again, calling human beings illegals. And then also saying it's China's fault. It's China. That's not to the left of Nancy Pelosi, you dumb motherfucker. But again, this guy thinks, oh, more money? Must be left-wing. Duh.
The squad's going to vote for Nancy Pelosi. Who's to the right of Trump?
So he's setting up this false equivalence here, saying the squad is going to vote for Nancy Pelosi, and Nancy Pelosi's to the right of Trump because Jimmy Dore said so. And so if the squad votes for Nancy Pelosi, that means that the squad is to the right of Trump? Really?
Donald Trump is right. $600 is not nearly enough, but $2,000 isn't either. That's the whole point.
No kidding.
When Bernie Sanders was pushing for a $1,200 payment, I was asking, why is Bernie Sanders not pushing for a solution? If you're going to push for something, push for the solution and then compromise. He pushed for $1,200, which was already a compromise position, and then he ended up with $600. Just like we said, Bernie Sanders is the worst leader in the world.
So, again, Bernie Sanders, now, we can have disagreements about Bernie. That's fine, right? Do I think Bernie is a revolutionary leader who's going to take us through no, he's not. He's a politician. He's a senator. People need to really curb their expectations, okay? But, again, what was the public reaction to Medicare for All 6 years ago? Before Bernie got onto the national stage? What is it now? The most popular policy. It's got an 80% approval rating. So if you're going to say Bernie Sanders has done a net hindrance to Medicare for All instead of a net positive, you are a dumb motherfucker, right? That's, again, besides the point of Bernie Sanders, of course, being one of the first, if not the first person, to call for $2,000 monthly stimulus, okay? So this is all a bunch of lying and scumbaggery. So again, who in the 2020 Democratic primary raised their hand when asked if they wanted to abolish single payer or abolish private health insurance? It was Bernie Sanders. And I believe like Elizabeth Warren did like the famous, the kid who knows the answer but doesn't want to raise their hand because they've got social anxiety thing, right? Remember that? So who, by the way, did Jimmy Dore support in the primary? Tulsi Gabbard, famously, who, again, in this clip that I have right here, he interviewed Tulsi Gabbard and then just listened to all of her bullshit and tried to defend her compromise position. That was 9 months ago. So this guy is trying to say Bernie Sanders is the worst leader of all time? Yet 9 months ago, he was against Medicare for All. But it gets worse. So who's the they? Let's find out who the they is.
Are you happy with her? You think you should be nicer to her? Or you think we should rake her over the coals? You think you should be nicer? Do you think it would help if progressive news hosts were nicer to the progressives who are currently screwing you? Or do you think we should make them scared to fucking death? Are you happy with her? You think you should be...
Okay, so Bernie Sanders is a terrible leader because he called for $1,200, even though he called for $2,000. And AOC should be scared to death because she has a $2,000 COVID relief amendment?
Only the really, I hate to say this, but those with the lowest IQ, only the really, I hate to say this, but those with the lowest IQ.
Dumb people, liberal people, dumb people, liberal people.
So stupid, so stupid. Thank you.
I really just don't understand. I really just don't understand. Now, again, you can say that this country is broken. Correct. All right? This country is broken. But we being the left. By the way, I take that to be exclusionary from the Jimmy Dore fanboys. They are not leftists. They are crybaby fanboys. Like, you remember on YouTube in 2009, right, when you had those big popular vloggers start posting, like, on YouTube all the time, and you got a bunch of people who would, like, spam their memes on every other channel, and then, like, say you should watch these people. Those were called fanboys, right? That's what these people are. They're not political activists, right? You going on Twitter and saying hashtag force the vote at, like, 2,000 followers, that's not direct action. That's not political activism. That's you being a fucking fanboy, right? So these dumb motherfucking fanboys that are watching this guy think that AOC is standing in the way of healthcare? What? Like, we have got, like, and again, exclusionary we on that one, have got like maybe 10 people in Congress, maybe 15, like if you're stretching the definition, who are genuinely even kind of anti-establishment progressive, right? Kind of. The furthest left person in the Congress, right, is barely even qualifiable as a social democrat. Barely. So the idea that you're going to expect these people, these are politicians. Now again, I have different expectations for different people. I think a talk show host, I expect them to put their money where their mouth is. I expect them not to buy $2 million compounds. I expect them, right, to do their job and inform the people that watch their broadcast. That's what I expect them to do. Clearly, Jimmy Dore has failed my expectations. Now, what I expect people in Congress to do is to respond to their constituents and then draft legislation that helps the people, right? The job of a politician is not to be an activist. The job of the politician is to listen to the activists, right? So when you say that AOC needs to go out there and, like, you know, lose all of her positions of power to force a Medicare for all vote, that will lose. It will not pass the House. It will not pass the Senate. Joe Biden has said he will veto the plan. Trump, you think Trump's going to sign Medicare for all? So, like, there is no strategy that gets us Medicare for all. There is no strategy that gets us health care. Jimmy Dore, what he is doing is he is postulating a scenario where instead of looking at the real problems, that is to say, capitalism itself, the rich class as a whole, instead of looking at those real problems, he is pinning all of the blame. It's AOC who's standing in the way of healthcare. And because it's AOC and only AOC who's standing in the way of healthcare, as he says, she should be scared to death. Are you kidding me?
Scared to fucking death. We should make them scared to fucking death.
Who's them?
Are you happy with her?
So it's her and then them? Her and then them?
You think you should be nicer to her? Or you think we should rake her over the coals? You think you should be nicer? Do you think it would help if progressive news hosts were nicer to the progressives who are currently screwing you?
The progressives are the ones screwing you. It's not Nancy Pelosi. It's not Mitch McConnell. It's not Donald Trump. It's not Tim Ryan. It's not Hakeem Jeffries. It's not Steny Hoyer. No. It's not Chuck Schumer. No, it's AOC. She's the one standing in the way of healthcare. And as Jimmy Dore says, she should be scared to death. What the fuck? But again, people think that this is some kind of sane, rational person. People think, oh, Jimmy Dore is angry, and anger is good. You know who else is angry? Me, motherfucker. Because I lost my mom due to her not having health insurance. So when you dumb Russian bot pieces of garbage come into my thing and say, another family with health care telling people they should wait. What? Like, dude, who are you fucking talking to? But these people think, again, direct action is going on 200 viewed YouTube videos and saying hashtag force the vote, you dumb snaggletooth tranny. Those are comments that I've gotten from these people. They think that what they're doing is noble. They think that what they're doing is direct action. They're on the front lines fighting against capital itself by spamming dumb bullshit in an anarchist's YouTube comment section. I cannot fucking believe that people take this shit seriously. I really can't. And if you do, shame on you. Seriously. And you know what? People have said that I should divorce this a little bit from Jimmy Dore. And I've got a video here of Bree Joy Gray, and I'm going to talk about this in a second, interviewing Nina Turner and trying to wrap her into this fucking fanboy drama. And this video, I have a criticism of this video, but I have more of a criticism with the comment section, and I'm going to get into that in a second.